A very good morning, everyone, with great honor and pleasure. I, Dr. Taslima, Alumni Coordinator, EC Department, IIMT College of Engineering, Greater Noida, welcome respected Director Sir, Dean Sir, HOD Ma'am, Pankaj Jha Sir, other faculty members, guests, alumni, and my dear students to this auspicious occasion of our institute and industrial exposure, a trip from campus to corporate. I really believe in standing here to contribute in this unforgettable moment as an honor and privilege because we conduct today's great event of alumni with special guest Mr. Vikas Kumar, Assistant General Manager from AKGC Skills Foundation. He did his MTech from IIT Delhi and pursued PhD from DTU. He trained over more than 500 delegates in industrial robotics field. He was awarded as a best trainer for automation and robotics lab. He is an active member of American Welding Society. I welcome you, sir. An Alumni Connect is organized to celebrate and refresh old memories and relationship with us again. Firstly, I welcome our alumni, Ms. Seema Yadav, Senior Quality Assurance Analyst from BUCK. She is an alumni from BATS 2014. Secondly, Ms. Deepti, Data Scientist from Puskar AI. She is an alumni from BATS 2018. Lastly, Ms. Dimple, System Engineer from Infosys Limited. She is alumni from BATS 2020. I welcome you, all of you again. Now I invite our alumni overall coordinator, Mr. Pankaj Jha sir, to grace this occasion.
Thank you, Tasmina ma'am. On behalf of Electronics and Communication Engineering Department, I heartily welcome Vikas ji and three of my best students ever. I taught Seema, Dipti, and Dimple on this particular Alumni Connect session. And I'm hoping that your juniors will be benefited with your words of wisdom. And one more request I want to communicate with you all that kindly connect with your juniors and guide them for betterment of their future. So with these words, ma'am, kindly start our program.
Thank you, sir. Now I invite Ms. Seema Yadav to grace this occasion with her motivational talk. Ms. Seema?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Hi, everyone. Good morning. I'm Seema, and I'm an ex-student of IIMT. My course was BTech, and I'm from stream Electronics and Communication. First of all, I would like to take this opportunity to thank IIMT to provide me this platform to share my genuine and real experiences I have had with IIMT. So to begin with, I would start with my college because this is the, really a career building block of our life where we start thinking about our career. So, and here where our confidence starts to build up because this college has provided me a lot of exposure and platforms to build my confidence through a lot of co-curricular activities also what college organizes every year, like sports fest and everything. And even our the placement cell team members, they have done an excellent job to get us placed in one of the renowned companies. And we have got so nice job that we are proud of today of our faculty members and of course our college for providing all those to us. So I would just say that first thing what we need to have in ourselves is confidence. This is what is really going to work out for all of us, and that doesn't build in a day. That builds over a period of time. So I have noticed this, that people don't want to participate in such things where I mean, like whatever the activities that are held in college, they just drag themselves behind not to get noticed or something like this. But this is the start. Nobody is going to judge you for anything. You can do whatever you want in what's there, whatever capability you have. You can just start focusing and being attentive on that, and you can show your caliber and potential through this platform, the very platform that college provides us. So I have always been upfront for all these, and this is where I felt that we can build our confidence from here. And for first and foremost thing, I would like to say that please gel up with all other streams students also, because no matter you are from EC, CS, IT, because you are going to be interviewed as a fresher. So you don't know what the interviewer is going to ask about. He can ask I mean based on your stream, the questions, or the interview questions, that can be based on your stream, or somewhere like we see that there are dearth of opportunities in electronics and communication as compared to CS and IT, and this is a great fear in students of this stream. But that's not the thing, because it's not the only stream you can build your career through. There are ample of opportunities if you really dive through it. So that's what I have experienced, because I am a student. I mean, this is my real and personal experience I would share with you all, that I was a student of EC, and I had got placed in year 2013, though I'm a batch of 2010 to 14, but I got placed in 2013. There was a pool campus, and that was really I mean, I was really scared of like, I'm going to compete with CS and IT students, so how will I be competing them, and how would I get selected in this interview? But believe you me, all the faculty members of the placement and team and everybody, I just went to them and I told my concern to them. Then they said that okay, just have a basic knowledge of CS and IT, like software engineering related stuff, that's asked in that's a basic interview question. So you just go through that and be thorough with your stream, because you I mean, if somebody asks something about your stream, at least you should have confidence to answer those questions. If you stumble there, it means that you are not actually prepared for your stream. Then how can they just expect you to answer something of the other stream you were not part of? So that's why that this is prepare yourself for the stream what you have studied throughout your 4 years. And also I have I mean, I'm really thankful to IMT for keeping classes of personal develop PDP classes, like personal development, overall development what we have. And that consists of aptitude and reasoning classes, and your communication English classes, and quant classes. That's very much necessary, as we all know that to crack our first round of interview as fresher, you really need to have good aptitude. So that is something you should like start from beginning of your semesters, like beginning of your BTech, when you enter into first semester. So because everything piles up when you just keep everything for fourth year, that you'll do this for fourth year. So start preparing everything bit by bit from first semester, so that nothing gets piled up and you don't get tense. Because at last people feel that okay, I have to cover something of my stream also, I have to clear the semester also, and besides that I have to even go through this PDP classes, aptitude, reasoning, quant, because everybody is not good at that. Everybody may not have put a lot of attention towards it before that, but in interview it is asked. You can't escape the situation. So that's why you need to have this aptitude built beforehand. So for that I'm really thankful that we had like wonderful classes arranged for us in fourth year, or beginning of the approaching end of this third year, that is the fifth, sixth semester, we started having all those classes. So that really helped. And whatever concerns we have, because and we used to follow our teachers. First of all, I would say that always value our faculties. That's very important, because sometimes we take them, for a ride, that okay, now we are smart enough to take our decision, to make our decisions. But that's not so, because they have seen many batches going out, so they know what the real fact is. So always value their words and follow their advice. It is really going to help you out in your future. So we just followed what our teachers said. I mean, we just went through all. I mean, I also took my stream, the core subjects, very seriously, and we studied so well, and gathered knowledge, what our faculties provided us. And also we developed our this inculcated all these skills in us, like aptitude, logical reasoning, and everything. That really helped. And ultimately I was placed in Aon in 2013. So I was really thankful to all my faculty and members, who, because it was contribution of every faculty. I would not say it was just one. So it consisted of everybody's efforts. So now when I was placed in Aon, I would just share the real experiences I had. So it was really difficult, because you have a wonderful experience in your college, no foundations, nothing. You are with your friends, enjoying, everything is so smooth and chill. But in corporate, that's not so. So if you have to pave your way through, you really have to work hard for it. So initially it was difficult, and I was placed there as manual tester, which is like good for everybody, but I did not enjoy that profile much. But I was happy that I was placed in college itself. So it was nice. But ultimately, when you have to do your job for long term, so you need to love your job, you need to love your work. So that's what I was finding. So but you should never give up your hope. You should always keep it high, because you never know when you come across some good opportunities you were always seeking for. So I got to work after 3 years. I mean, I just worked wholeheartedly, no matter whether I liked the job or not. But I used to work for the dreams I have seen for myself. So I used to work on this SQL and queries and all, because I liked that part. So I got chance to work with Xerox, and there I got selected. I mean, I was promoted there as a business analyst. So that was quite a good experience for me, to have. I had good interaction with the clients, with onshore people. To first of all, you need to just learn or understand what the client or the onshore, what they are trying to say. I mean, you have to really be attentive for gathering the data, because that's very important for a business analyst to the data that they gather. Everything depends on the whole project is driven by that. So that you need to do it so nicely. So for that thing, you need to be analytically strong and logically strong. So that thing is really, I mean, needed, what I think. And so, and after that, to analyze data, to just interpret what our client really wants, you need to have good hands-on practice on SQL queries. The and we think that Excel is something like very easy, and we have some few formulas or what. But Excel is, it's in itself, it's very vast thing, what I have seen, because coding and everything you can do it by Excel. So if you have basic knowledge of at least the SQL queries and the Excel, and even C programming, because the logic building starts from there. Yes, we had C classes also in our semester also, but many of them they just ignore it, and they just read it just for getting a pass number. But that's not so, because you should really focus on that thing that is mainly asked in interview. I mean, I'm just sharing my experience that I have been asked questions of C, and thankfully I had actually affinity for learning this programming skills, though I was not part of CS and IT, but I really liked doing it. And that's what really helped me, because the interview was cracked through based on this questions only, which I answered. So this is what my experience is, that I would always and even if you like we have so many friends in our college, and but we don't make a good use of that. So have a productive friendship, I would say. Like if you are having a gossip also, then that gossip must contain something about how you're going to place, what are our interview experiences of our seniors, and how can we get placed, and everything, I mean, about company knowledge. Sometimes the interviewer may ask, what do you know about the company you're going to be working for? So we are just blank, we don't have any idea, because we are just concerned about the questions what he's going to ask related to our subject, or what we have prepared. So that anything, I mean, anything can be put up by an interviewer towards you. So you should be confident enough to answer and to tackle that situation. The confidence should be visible, somewhere inside you, that yes, I'm able to, and I will be able to, I'll prove myself a good asset for your company if you hire me. That kind of confidence should reflect from your face. So that's what I would just like to conclude here, that yes, always value what your teachers, what your faculties, they guide you, because they are the strong support system for all of us. Whatever queries, questions, and concerns we have, they are there to solve for us. But for that, you have to go to them and raise your concerns. And also I would say, yeah, the confidence is the key ingredient. Like even if you do hard work little less, because I've seen many of them, many of my batch students, they were not very hard working, but they were really smart. They had that confidence, okay, because they were I mean mindset and the aptitude was like that. So they had that courage in themselves, okay, that enthusiasm in themselves, that okay, they'll be able to do it when time comes. And it's not that they were not scoring in subjects and they were not doing anything. They were preparing something else, like programming skills and everything, because anything can help you out in just getting your first job. So that is the main thing. And also you should be very attentive and focused. That is also very important, because whatever you are learning, I'm not what I have felt, that it's not very necessary to be serious every time and to take things seriously. But yeah, whatever you really, I mean, you are going for, so take that things at for particular moment seriously. That if you're reading your core subject, so I mean, at least you should have basic and practical knowledge of that. If somebody asks you that, it's not that you have just given a theory and that's fine. You should know the basic and the construction and the principle of working, what we say. So that should be there in your mind. You should be knowing all that. If this is what your interviewer wants to hear. He just wants your, how you tackle the problem, how you approach towards problem. That's the main thing. He doesn't want to hear the correct answer, because I don't think there's correct answer for everything. There must be something better than that. But at least you have tried and your approach was good. This is what they really seek in freshers. So have confidence, be focused and attentive, and always value your faculty members. And also one more thing, I would say that I was means like our batch, we have volunteered many placement drives also. That was very helpful, because we just got to know how the HRs, they ask questions, how the technical questions are being asked, how you have to present yourself in front of interviewer, and how you're introducing yourself, because that's very important, where the question arises from. The way you introduce yourself gets a lot of questions in interviewer's mind. So that's why that's a basic thing, and that's very much our PDP teachers, the placement team faculties, they have focused on your projects, mini and major projects, because students, what they do, they just purchase it, just getting this done anyhow. They don't want to get into this, who will just get into this and through all the problems and all this. But even if you make a like minor project, like it's a big or small, but get involved through it, at least you'll get some knowledge. And that can help you. Maybe you explain your project well, and that interviewer gets impressed. So this is what the minor things I have experienced through my experience and my batchmates experiences. We used to ask that, how was your interview, what questions were asked. I was really eager to know, so that maybe I might be in that situation and I have to answer that. That's why just you should really be very attentive and be aware. Awareness is also one thing which will lead you to get a good chance or a good opportunity in good company. That's why be aware, be attentive and focused, and always follow smart work policy. Hard work is always like in BTech, it's only hard work only we have to do, because every time we see that okay, now we can take a rest, then another unit test that starts, so we don't have much time to take rest there. But still, you should be smart enough and always follow the directions and the guidance what our faculties provide to us. And I'm just I would just like to conclude that thank you for everything IMT has given to me, because I'm really very proud as I mean a student of that batch 2010-14, because whenever, I mean, many of them, we are in touch with each other, the batchmates. I'm very proud to listen that everybody has achieved some good position in their life, that I'm really proud of. And IMT is doing a great job. I'm so much thankful to IMT. Thank you so
Vita.
much.
Thank you, Vita. Very nice motivational talk. And this is very nice for our students. I think students get motivated by your words, importance of PDP classes. Thank you, Seema. In your busy schedule, you come accept this proposal and give this talk. Thank you very much, Seema.
Sure, thank you,
Secondly,
ma'am.
yes, Vita. Secondly, now I invite Deepti Rawat to share his. Hello, Deepti. Can you hear me?
Uh,
Yes, Vita. Yes, Vita. Now you can share your words. Thank you.
so, okay. Hi, everyone. Yeah. Hi, everyone. So firstly, I would like to thank IMT again for inviting me the second time and for providing me with this platform where I can share my views. I'm a proud alumni of IMT from batch 2018. Firstly, thanks IMT. Secondly, thank you, Seema ma'am. You have just shared such great insights and it has motivated me as well. So talking to you guys, do we have only second year students here or third year as well? So if you could I can see the comment section here. So if you could just let me know which batch is it that I am going to interact with. I think YouTube feed is a bit, there's a lag because.
Yes, Deepti, is there any problem?
Yeah, ma'am, basically I'm trying to interact with students and I think they're on YouTube, so they are typing,
yes,
but
yes,
there's a bit of lag
no problem.
in the streaming. So
Yes.
what's the batch we are dealing with, like today?
Second year, third year, and final year.
Second year, third, and final year.
Yes.
So basically, I am a data scientist currently working in IIIT Hyderabad in a startup known as Pushpak.ai. So as a data scientist, what I do is I basically work on state-of-the-art machine learning and deep learning models. And we deploy these models in many real-world applications. Currently, we are working with clients like Mahindra and Delipolis, where we are trying to deploy our video solutions to help them, right? So I don't have motivational words to say. I rather thought I would better give you insights on what machine learning or what this whole AI thing is. So I have prepared a presentation for that. And I hope this session is informative to all the students. And if anybody of you finds it interesting, they might take on this journey to learn artificial intelligence themselves. So now I'll share my screen to share the PPT with all of you. Yeah, is the screen visible to you, ma'am, and everybody? Is the screen visible? Yeah. Taslima, ma'am, is the screen visible to you?
Screen visible? Yes, better. Yes.
Yeah,
start.
the presentation.
Yes.
Okay, right. So, guys, first of all, I would like to play this video and I would want you all to take a look at this video. It will give you an idea of what we are going to talk about today. So here I am playing the video, okay, for all of you. So just a minute. Yeah, so Taslima ma'am, was
Yes,
the
yes,
video
yes,
that I played visible
yes,
to
yes,
you?
yes,
Cool.
yes, yes.
So guys, that was an example of Google Duplex. It was released by Google, obviously. And as you saw, that was a machine. That was a machine interacting with human. And the human could not even guess that whether it's a machine. It was so human-like. So the next question comes that how was that machine able to understand what humans are saying or what humans, are basically, just a minute, I think my screen has stopped. Yeah, so how the machine could understand the human words. So this is what we are going to explore today in brief. Yeah, so first of all, the intelligence that we are going to talk about, or artificial intelligence. For that, I'll first start my journey by understanding what intelligence is. Then we will move to what is artificial intelligence, like how artificial intelligence is inspired by intelligence. Then we will move to what is machine learning, which again is a part of artificial intelligence. We will explore further the idea of machine learning through a practical example. And then we will see what are the different ways in which computers learn. And finally, I'll summarize this whole pipeline with a practical example. And that's why the name of this session is A Practicalish Approach to Artificial Intelligence. So before moving on, I'll once again ask Taslima ma'am that am I properly, is my screen visible and everything
Yes,
is good?
yes, no
Cool.
problem, no problem, Dipti.
So I'll go on.
You start.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, no
Yes.
problem.
So guys, let's start with what is intelligence. We know as humans we have grown so much over the evolution ring has done its job really well. And when we talk about intelligence, there are certain components because of which we say humans are intelligent. One of the components is learning, our ability to grasp information from our environment. Moving on to our second ability, which is reasoning. After gaining an information, we can actually reason through it, and that's why that's also a component of intelligence. Talking about a third component of intelligence, that is problem solving. So you must have seen when you are stuck in a problem, you look for an information, you reason through that information, and you come up with your creative solution. Fourth component of intelligence is perception. Perception is our ability of how we perceive the world through our five senses. And the final one is language understanding. So these all peculiar traits is what makes us human and what makes us an intelligent species on the planet. So then where did this AI term come from? Artificial intelligence was coined by John McCarthy, who is also known as the father of AI. John McCarthy named artificial intelligence as the science and the engineering of making intelligent machines, especially intelligent computer program, which could mimic human intelligence. Well, I do not know if you must have noticed, but in your day-to-day life, you interact with AI in every possible way. Let's look at some of the real-world examples here. So if any one of you have the digital assistants like Alexa, or we have just seen Google Duplex, that is a very good example of artificial intelligence. So when you visit certain sites like bank sites or any other telecommunication site, you must have seen these chatbots asking for information and they are there to help you. So they are also an example of AI systems. The other real world examples of AI are our recommendation systems like YouTube, Netflix, and Amazon. So you must have seen in YouTube what you always see these recommendations based on your past watch history. That's a very good example how AI is processing what you have watched in the past. And on the basis of that, it is suggesting you some new suggestions. Similarly, in Amazon, based on your purchase history, it shows you suggestions. Third example of artificial intelligence application can be found in video analytics. So you must be knowing that in various places in India itself, there have been these very smart cameras deployed, which detects if a person is wearing face mask or not. Because due to the COVID, we had to follow certain protocols and face mask was one of them. Also, another application is in face recognition. If you all have a smartphone, you must be knowing that there is a face recognition feature. You show it your face and it unlocks the phone. That's a very good example of how video analytics use artificial intelligence to recognize your face. And one another example is in text analytics. So looking at the text and finding out the context in it, patterns in it, semantics and grammar patterns in it. That's also how AI systems work. One good example we see almost everywhere, Grammarly. So we talked about what is the applications of AI, and we talked about the idea of AI, which is to make smart machines. But how do we make it? Like what goes behind the back or what goes under the roof? That's what we are going to explore next. So if I ask you that I give you these set of input values and their corresponding output values. So for input 0, if I give you output 32, for input 8, if I give you output 46.4, and so on. And I tell you, could you tell me if I give you input 38, what will be the output? So you know what your brain will try to do here? Your brain will try to find a relationship between the input and output. If I would have given you a simple problem, if I would have given you input as 2 and output as 4, input as 3 and output as 6, input as 4 and output as 8, and I would have told you, could you tell me what will be the output if the input is 5? You would have come up with 10, because through that simple pattern, you can see that output is twice the input, right? So let me tell you here, maybe for some of you, it's a bit typical, a bit difficult, or some of you might have guessed the answer by now, but the output here is 100.4. And if you guessed it, you are right. You know, what your brain tried to do, like we have just discussed, it tried to figure out the relationship between inputs and outputs. And for when it try, that's what machines try to do in AI systems. You give them the input and you give them the output, and they try to figure out this relationship between the input and output. This input to output relationship for these set of values was this: x multiplied by 1.8 times plus 32. And if some of you might have guessed by now, this is the formula for converting the temperature in degrees Celsius to temperature in degrees Fahrenheit. And this is what machine learning does. So you might be thinking that we were just studying artificial intelligence. Where did this machine learning come from? So guys, artificial intelligence is an idea, the idea of creating a smart machine. But how we do it is through machine learning. Machine learning is the journey or the way to that idea. Or if I have to state technically, machine learning is a set of algorithms that helps machines to learn from the data, like how we humans do. So given these set of inputs and their corresponding outputs, the machine learning algorithms will figure out the correct algorithm to convert the input to output. So they will figure out this formula, or they'll figure out this function or this mapping function. So how is it different from what we have been doing in software engineering till now? So you see, this is how a conventional, I believe you are from ECE, so you must be knowing this programming paradigm, that this is how we write a conventional program. We want an output. So for that, we give the input to our program and we give a rule or a formula, right? So for example, I write a program to convert the degrees Celsius temperature to temperature in degrees Fahrenheit. So I will write the formula in the program, I'll give the input, and my program will give me the output. But this is how machine learning works. To the machine learning model, I give a set of inputs and I give a set of desired corresponding outputs. And my machine learning algorithm figures out the rule. And this is very cool, let me tell you. This entire process where my machine learning algorithm is learning from the data, learning from the input and output data. That particular phase is known as the training phase. So during the training, my machine learning algorithm is learning that relationship. It tries, like human beings. Like if humans see those input outputs, we try to figure out what will be the relationship. So my machine learning algorithm is learning the same way. It tries to find out the relationship. After the training part completes, now my machine learning model is ready. Now this is a trained model which has already learned that rule. And I can use this trained model to predict the output of a new input. So for example, I have given my trained model. While training, I have only trained on like inputs 0, 8, 15, and 22. After the training completes, I can ask my model, okay, tell me, what will be the Fahrenheit's equivalent for Celsius 55? Mind that we have not trained the model for 55, but because it has figured out that rule, my trained model can tell me the answer. So through this, we can bifurcate machine learning pipeline into two major parts. There's one training part in which the model is still learning the relationship between inputs and output. And there's this inference part where the model is now trained. It's like how humans do when we are learning something and when we have learned it perfectly. The training is the process of learning from the data, and the inference, in the inference, we use that final model to predict the output of a new data. So if I give the input to this model as 38, on which I never trained my model, the model will be able to output 100.4, which is the correct value. So enough of talking about it. Let us see some of this in action. So in front of me, if you must have done programming earlier, this is also a programming environment. It's known as collaboratory notebook, in which we write the code. So I just now from the slide, we saw that there are two stages, one training and one is inference. So I'll show you for the temperature example, how it works. So like I told you, the very first step is, if you must have noticed, very first step is having the input, preparing the input and output data, and then getting a machine learning algorithm. So that's what we are going to talk about here. First step is setting up training data, right? So here, if you can see the code, I have the input data in Celsius and the corresponding output in Fahrenheit. This is what I'm going to feed my machine learning model. After the training, after preparing the data, we create our model. So creating a model is the second stage. This model, this one which you see here, the machine learning model. For creating the, so right now you must be seeing a lot of jargon here, a lot of code lines which you do not understand. If you don't understand, don't worry about it. Our focus is here to make a broad pipeline in your head of how it works on a very high level. Once we understand it in a high level, we can deconstruct and go to lower levels. So after I've given the data, after I've prepared the data, the next step is creating a model. So there are specific steps for that also. So here I'm writing a few lines of code and then a few more lines of code. And after my model is done, like I told you, the third stage is actually training that model. So this is how training takes place. As you can see here, there is this command known as model.fit. So what I'm telling my model here is that, dear model, I'm giving you input and output. Learn from that for 500 epochs. Now, what is epoch? Don't worry about it. It only means iterations, how many times my model will learn until it perfects. So now those epochs begin once I run this cell. And as you can see here, my model is actually getting trained on those values, on those input data. And with each epoch, how do I know whether my model is actually improving or learning is through this loss value. This loss value tells me that my model is actually getting better. Loss means the mistake. So as we go down, we see the mistake has become less and less. Earlier, the loss was 7.7, and now it's getting to 6, and then 5, and then 4, and then 3. And finally, after 500 epochs, we are left with, let's see, what value of loss? We are at 0.06. So my model earlier was that inaccurate, but it kept learning from the data and inaccuracy kept reducing to this level. Now, if I want to visualize it, here it is. I have written again a few lines of code to see how it is. So if you can see, as the epochs or as the training numbers increase, the loss or the inaccuracy also decreases. It means at 500th epoch, my model is very accurate compared to what it was when it was not trained at 0th epoch. Now, okay, I have seen how to give data. I have seen how to create a model. I have seen how to do the training. And now the training has finished. Now the inference stage comes. In the inference stage, I will check or I will test my trained model. So how do I do it? I have done it here for you. So I tell my model that, hey, you have now learned. So now just predict the value of 0 degrees Celsius. And here my model gives me 31.9, which is slightly inaccurate. It should be 32, but it's 31.9. That's because we still had the loss in our model, you know? So this is a very high level overview of how we build a machine learning model from the beginning, from the preparation of the data to the end, when we have the final model on which we can do the prediction. Now I have a task for you guys. Here, I only trained my model for like 4 to 5 values, right? 4 Celsius values and 4 Fahrenheit values. And that's why I think it was not enough for my model to learn. As humans also, we need a lot more data to actually make sense out of something. So this is my task for you. If you guys are interested, I will share this collaboratory notebook link with you all. Try to train the model by giving more input values. And after training, again run this command of inferencing and check whether the model has improved or not. I will leave the link in this PPT itself, and I'll give the PPT to Taslima ma'am. So if anybody is interested, they can take.
Definitely.
Yeah. So now what we just saw was an example to demonstrate how machine learns through the data. And this whole approach is known as data-driven approach. Data-driven approach is not explicit to machines. The idea is inspired by how humans learn. So when we are babies, for example, we do not know how to speak a language or understand a language. So we learn through our surroundings. We grasp as much data as we can from our parents, from our siblings, and then we eventually make a lot of mistakes, but we eventually do corrections through iterations, and we learn to get good at understanding a language. So computer scientists thought, can we do the same with humans? So computer scientists basically help computers learn like we do through some learning processes. If I have to bifurcate on a broad level, we can bifurcate these learning processes as supervised learning and unsupervised learning. So first, let's take a look at what supervised learning is. Supervised learning is an approach to creating AI systems where a computer algorithm is trained on input data that has been labeled. Now, what that means is, just now I showed you there are two steps, training and inference. In training, we give some input data to the model and it trains over it. But what happens in supervised learning is I also have to supervise the model. I also have to label that training data. For example, here, I give my model 1,000 images of dogs and I tell my model, this is a dog, this is a dog, this is a dog. And similarly, 1,000 images of cats, again, labeling the images as cats. So my model, what will it do during the training process? It will learn the different features of cats and dogs. And it will get good at recognizing at what a cat looks like and what a dog looks like. So what happens is during the prediction, now my model has learned, it has been a trained model. Now, or to that trained model, if I give an image of a new dog, the dog on which it has never seen ever during training, and I ask my model, hey, tell me, whether it's a cat or a dog, my model will be able to tell me it's a dog because it has learned the difference between a dog and a cat. So this is what a supervised learning approach is. We find its applications in a lot of day-to-day scenario. For example, your face recognition system on your cell phone, weather forecasting, where the future weather is predicted based on the past weather data, and stock price prediction. Let's talk about unsupervised learning. So it's an approach of creating artificial intelligence systems where the computer algorithm is trained on unlabeled data. So if I go back, you see in the supervised learning, we had labeled data. We were giving the image of the input, but we were also telling it's a dog. We were labeling the input. In the unsupervised learning, we don't label the data. So we directly give a bunch of data to the model to learn from. And what my model does is, after the training, my model is able to create clusters of this data. So my model gets good at identifying the different patterns in the data and forms cluster of it. So unsupervised learning approach is used in the scenarios where we want to identify patterns in data set. For example, you're feeding your model a lot of news data, and the model is able to cluster them into positive news, negative news, or any other feature which my model finds in it. So the applications of unsupervised learning is the market. Okay, it is used for identifying, first of all, there's one example in which, suppose you have shopped. So you're doing shopping on a website. So what the algorithm does, it looks at all the products in your shopping list and it clusters them into different categories based on the user preferences. So maybe like beauty products or clothes or like that, clothing, etc. Another application, another very, very important application where unsupervised learning is used is in anomaly detection. So for example, you have a habit of spending 5,000 to 10,000 per month. So that's the kind of data that your model records. Suddenly it sees a peak that at 12 a.m. in the night, you have withdrawn 1 lakh rupees. That is entirely different from your regular spending pattern. So model will know this is an anomaly. Model will find out this pattern, and it will state it as an anomaly. Now this is a very important thing, because this can help your banks to identify whether your card has been stolen, or so they might block your card. You must have noticed it. So if you spend above a limit, your card is blocked. So that is because your model has figured out that there is an unusual spending happening. So there's a chance that someone has stolen it, and you yourself are not doing it. So this was the application of unsupervised learning. So guys, whatever we studied till now, whatever we tried to grasp till now on a high level, if we have to summarize it, this is it. To develop an AI model, these are the crucial steps. We have to define the problem. We have to see, is it what am I going to do with my AI system? What do I want my AI systems to do? For example, do I want to make a photo tagging app which can tag the faces of my friends? If that is so, then it's a supervised learning problem. Or do I want to do market basket analysis? Then it's an unsupervised learning problem. So it's important to define what is the problem that you want your machine or computer to solve. After you have defined the problem, accordingly, you will collect the data. So data preparation is the step of gathering, cleaning, organizing, and transforming data. And all that means is to take the raw data and make it into a structured one. So if you're working on a supervised learning problem, you'll take a lot of images of dogs and cats and you'll start labeling them properly. After that comes choosing an algorithm. It depends on what is your problem. If it's a supervised learning problem, then there are set of different machine learning algorithms which are only specific for supervised learning approach. If your problem is unsupervised, then again there are set of problems or set of algorithms which are only dedicated to unsupervised learning approach. So here you choose an algorithm, the base algorithm which you want to train. Then comes the training phase. This is the most exciting phase because here you are training the model on the data that you have prepared. So this is the stage when my model is learning from the data. And after it has successfully learned from the data comes the inference stage. Inference or the prediction can be done on a new input value, like we have seen earlier, using this trained model. So guys, you must have remembered the model that we created to predict the temperature in degrees Fahrenheit, given an input of temperature in degrees Celsius. Can you tell me which problem was that? Which learning approach was that?
Yes, beta.
So if you might have guessed it correctly, that was a supervised learning approach, because there I was giving the input and I was also labeling it. So that was one example. There's another very exciting example. Very exciting examples are there. So I want to demonstrate another example to you, which is a very common one nowadays, which is face mask detection given the COVID times. Face mask detection is also a supervised learning approach because it also, so just imagine with all the steps that we have discussed, how will you make a face mask model? So you will start with the data preparation now that you know it's a supervised learning approach. So in the data preparation, you will collect a lot of data of people wearing mask and people not wearing mask, and you will give it to your machine and tell it, hey, this is the one where people are wearing masks, this is the one where people are not wearing masks, and your machine will learn those patterns. And eventually, when that machine learning model will be trained in the future, you can give it an entirely new image and the machine will be able to recognize. So I have just another collab notebook for it. Here, I'm not going to train the model because it takes a lot of time to train the model on images. I'll share this model. I'll share this collab notebooks link in the PPT again. And here, if you can, I'll get to the main part. So what we are doing, we are actually using an already trained model. So I'm downloading a trained model here. Okay. And I'm saying, so see, someone else from another part of the world has trained this model. Okay. And I just downloaded it and I gave it my image. So this is my image. And the model was so accurate. It was 100% accurate at determining that I am not wearing a mask. Remember, this model is trained by someone else. This was never trained on my image, but the model was able to recognize because it has learned on so many other images. So this is how machine learning works. And if you have, if this session has sparked that interest in you to learn more about AI, and so don't get bogged down with all the details and all the technical jargon and thinking about programming and all of that. I would rather suggest that the best approach is to learn by doing. And if you would want more guide, because the session was very limited, so if you want more guide on how to approach the AI journey, you can always connect with me on my email ID. So this is me, Deepti Rawat. Thank you again, IMT, for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Dipti. Very nice, very motivational talk. And I think you proved that you are a data scientist and you uh, give this time for us, for our students. Thank you very much, Dipti. I know you are very busy in your schedule, but you accept my proposal, and I will try my best to conduct an workshop with our student with you. Thank you very much,
Thank
Dipti.
you, ma'am.
Yes, Deepti, thank you. Now I invite Vikas sir. Vikas sir, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, I can hear
Yes,
you.
yes, yes. Welcome you, sir, for
Thank you,
giving
ma'am.
your motivational talk. Yes, sir.
Okay, just I'm sharing my screen. Just a
Yes,
minute.
yes.
My screen is visible, ma'am?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Okay, ma'am, just I would like to firstly give thanks to IIMT for giving me this opportunity where I am going to talk on this topic like industrial exposure, a trip from campus to corporate. So
Yes.
in my upcoming slide, I will basically I would try to give best connect how students can make their journey easy from campus to corporate world. So let's start with this. Students' journey begin normally in campus while they come for study. Like suppose we say students came here for BTech, so BTech is their main aim. So next 4 years, they are at one system. So system can be IIMT here in your case. So we are going to process them. We are going to control them. So they enter in this education system as an input, and after 4 year processing, they become engineer. And in terms of industry, they are considered as a product. So they are product for industry. So while they are entering from campus to like corporate world, they are considered as a product for any industry. And if you see any industry, if you take any example, industry is full of engineers or product. So every industry having different numbers of engineers with different fields, so that they can operate properly. Now, people today's are discussing about job prices, especially students are in trouble. Like they are saying, job is not there, right job is not there. So if you say, if you see this picture, highly imbalance is created. Like unemployment goes very high. But in my opinion, is it true? If as in product we are not joining any industry, so how our industry looks like? If we are not joining industry, so can our industry looks like this where there is no one? Industry is there, but product means engineers are nowhere. So can you see such industry? I think the answer is no. It means it is not true. People are still working with various industries at various skill set. But if we are not getting job it means it is our problem. We will come back to this, and I will give you few like tips that will definitely help how you can get right jobs. But ultimately, we are going to consume. Engineers are going to consume in industry. So this is industry, and the industry and product having two categories. Either it is consumer-based goods they are creating or customer services they are producing. So these are the two major domain where industry works. And as an engineer, we have to work either in consumer good manufacturing kind of things or services in services. And if you look at the customer demand, so now the problem starts here, customer demands. So today customers are very impatient. So here you can see, if we are impatient, it means it is directly affecting the industries. We want every product and services at very high speed with best quality, with innovation. Something should be there, some innovation should be there, and it must be high performance. So these are the basic things that every customer wants from every product. If we are demanding as a customer these things from industry, so what they have to do means, what I'm trying to say here, as a customer, suppose as a customer, if you are not ready to compromise, not ready to compromise with your things, means suppose I'm having 1 lakh rupees in my pocket and I want certain bikes, certain motorcycle in certain colors, in certain specifications. So I'm not ready to compromise with my choices. Like if I'm living in Noida, I will go to Noida vendor and I'll try to get my specifications. Like if I want blue bike with like 250cc in Pulsar, so these are few things that I want. And if this particular bike is not available with Noida vendor, I'm very impatient. I will go to Ghaziabad and check whether it product is available or not. If in Ghaziabad also it is not available, I will try with Delhi. If it is also same condition, I will go to like Gurugram. So like that means, if pocket is in my if money is in my pocket, I am not ready to compromise. So we are impatient. And if this is the scenario, what wrong with industry? In present industry, if you look closely, they are also not ready to compromise with engineers quality. Every industry wants right person at right place with right time and with the right skill set. So this is very, very important. So if you are not compromising with your things, so how industry compromise with their engineers quality? And please understand, this is the main reason. Because of that, any industry changing, the change of nature is drastically change. Like people earlier working, any industry, take example of any industry, they are working with low volume and high mix concept. Low volume, high mix. What does it mean? Means we are producing A and B variant of any product, and sorry, it is wrongly written, low mix, high volume. So we are producing A and B products only from any industry, and volume was A is suppose in 500 units, B we produce in 500 units. But if you check the current scenario of any industry, they are just reverse. They are basically now start working with different principle, with different phenomena. And what is that? Nowadays, people are working with high mix and low volume. Means here variance goes very high, A, B, C, D, and goes on. And volume is low here. Low means particular variant we are not going to create with very high volume. Based on demand, suppose our total production here is 1000. So same production rate we are going to catch, but with different numbers. Like here, product A is having high demand, so maybe 400 products we are producing. Maybe here 200 B variant, maybe 100 only we are going to produce with this, and 300 with this. So overall, if you see, production is same. But if you consider individual variant, it is low. So how industry going to manage all these things? Because space is very big problem for any industry. They cannot have numbers of places where they can handle different variant. So if this is the place where they are having this space for assembling of particular products, so on same assembly line they have to produce all those things, all these variants. So different variants in different quantity they have to produce. So they have to work smartly, because space is a very big challenge nowadays. And also you have to take care of your numbers, your variants, your quality, all these things. And because of this product cycle play a very important role. Earlier, if you consider any product, the lifespan of any product is very high. In case of automotive, if you take automotive example, Maruti 800, so the product life cycle of this Maruti 800 is beyond 15 years. Means they don't have to think about second product, because 800 model is good enough to make any industry profitable, to make Maruti Udyog in profitable condition. So here, if my product is working for next 15 years, I don't have to think like for different variant. But nowadays, every industry changing so drastically, means the product life cycle here, it enters, like we introduce here any product, it goes like that, it is stable for certain years, and after that it declines, it start decline. So this particular, this space, this length, normally we counts in years for any industry, for any products. So see, this is the example why I'm taking Maruti 800 example. See, from 800 to Gen, it's taken around 10 years. Again, it's taken around 7-8 years from Gen. Now from this to this variant, again around 10 years. But same industry, same automotive industry has changed their thought process. Nowadays, same industry producing different variants in 6 months or like in 1 year time span. So why? Because customer is demanding, customer is not ready to like compromise with their choice. So they have to produce all these variants because they don't want to lose customer. And this particular phenomena is not limited to automotive. You can take example of any industry, electronics industry. Suppose if we talk about smartphones, normally in last 5 years, if you see the scenario, every 6 months companies are producing different variants. Not in every 6 months, I can say in every 3 months, every 2 months, they are introducing new variants, because they don't want to lose customer. And how they can manage all these variants with with the same space? For that, they have to work smartly. And if you look back, everything is getting smarter, everything is getting smarter. It is not only limited to your product, but also consumer services. So you all are aware, like smart home concepts are going on, smart school, smart cities, smart health, smart entertainment, smart travel, smart payment. So these are few examples. Earlier, people are only aware with home, only cities, schools are there, entertainments are there, health is there, payments is there, travel is there. But if you look closely, a smart term is added in front of that. So if everything is getting smart, so why not our industry? Why not our engineers? So I think you all are aware, like Industrial Revolution 4 is going on. It is in progress. So we have to work accordingly. We have to update our skill sets accordingly so that we can easily fit for that particular revolution. And the main challenge here is that from Industrial Revolution 1 to 2, we are getting more than 100 years to switch from 1 to 2. And again, from 2 to third revolution, a time duration was provided around 60 to 70 years. But here, in very less, like I can say around 30 to 40 years time span, it is happening. So here time is a very big constraint, means nowadays we are not given 100 years to switch from third to fourth. So we have to work smartly so that we can easily adaptable, we can make ourselves corporate ready. And that's why here you can see industry is not at all industry only, it is a smart industry. So a smart industry needs a smart people with a smart skill set. So again, this is one survey that I have taken from this World Economic Forum that says are our people are ready for fourth revolution, because by 2022 over half of the all workers in India will require reskilling to meet the talent demand for the future. So if you are not reskilling yourself, it means you are not a compatible product for any industry. Compatible product means you are not a compatible engineer for any industry. So make yourself compatible with any industry by updating yourself. And you have to jump from your comfort zone to your learning zone. And if you are not flexible enough, you may lose your potential, your job, all things can be compromised here. So you have to make yourself flexible enough so that your survival can be easy in this corporate world. And this is well said by a great scientist, Charles Darwin: only the fittest will survive. If you see this single lines having wonderful meaning, only the fittest will survive. It means if you are fit for industry, you have lot many options. If you are not fit for industry, you may always blame industry. Yeah, you have 80% with like you have bachelor's degree with 80% and they are not giving you a campus, they are not there is no job for you, because yes, you have 80% plus percentage in your bachelor's, but are you having right skill set that industry needed? If i if i replace your smartphone with normal keypad phone for next 1 hour, are you able to join this lecture? Are you able to attend this lecture? Are you do payments? Are you do smart travel? No. The straight answer is no. Forget about your job. If I'm going to remove your smartphone for next 1 hour 2 hours from your life, your survival will be very very difficult. So in same way, you can understand, if you are not smart enough, that is that should be a need of any industry. So why industry is going to hire you? So kindly update yourself so that industry can the journey from your campus to industry will be easier for you. And here I'm just giving few tips, because I'm working in skill area from last 10 years. So I know the basic pulse where you can work, and it is very easy to make your journey from your campus to your corporate world. And for that, let's understand this basic phenomena with some technical term structure. I think if you are aware with C language or any other programming language, what is structure? I think most of you know the basic definition of structure. Here I have taken example of car, automotive. So what is car? Car is the best example of structure. Structure is nothing but a collection of different data type. Means it can be integer, it can be bool, it can be character, it can be real, like that. So different data type. If I'm saying my car color is red or yellow, so it's function of our this variable this. If I'm saying integers, I produce 100 cars per day, so it's integer kind of things. If I'm saying my engine having like rating 100.5 cc, so it means it comes to real. So here any product, if you analyze any product, that is having a set structure. But what is the basic advantage of a structure? It combines different things together. In same way, suppose you have to define engineering, or what is an engineer? Engineer means, if you are from EC background, you must be having good knowledge, in-depth knowledge of electronics related tools. If you are mechanical engineer, you must have good knowledge of mechanical engineering tool. And if your potential permits, if time permits, try to gather other knowledge also. There is no harm learn if mechanical engineer learning data science concept. There is no harm if ISO students learning how automotive works, because nowadays web is going on in automotive EV vehicle, electrical vehicle. Earlier, if I asked this same question like 5 years ago, what is like automotive is related to which branch, you must have answered with this reply by this, like it is only mechanical engineers field. But if same question I will raise today, what is the role of various like branches in EV vehicles, so you can find big role of EC, big role of mechanical, big role of electrical engineers. So it combines not only these. If we have to make driverless car or any others like a smart system, we have to, there is a role of CS students also. But the main thing that I want to tell you here in this slide is that first achieve good in-depth knowledge of your respective branch. Means in today's time, don't try to become a light, try to become a laser. Means you must be focused with your tools. Don't try to jump here and there with various tools. Just select any 2 3 good tools and try to become a master of that tools. So here, this is one of the my favorite slide. Which matters most for you? If you answer this with your full of honesty, what matters you most? Skill set or mindset? If your answer is mindset, skill set is a byproduct. If you are ready to change your mindset, means if you are flexible enough to learn new technology, if you are adaptable enough to learn new technology, because these two things drive from your mindset. If your mindset allow, yes, industry needs this kind of people, so I must have to flexible enough. I cannot restrict myself on Pascal language if industry is demanding for Python. Why you are not changing your mind? Just check with industry demand. For that, you have a lot of mentors. I think this is the best platform where your alumni are giving you like actual gaps, what industry wants. You can easily gather those knowledge and try to cache those knowledge in terms of making your career. Learning tools. See, if you have two choices, change yourself or change system. If you have two choice, means what you prefer, change yourself or change the system. System cannot change over a year. It will take lot many years. I graduated in between 2000 to 2004 from IET Lucknow Government College. And today, while I'm teaching to my students, mechanical engineering students, you will surprise, there is hardly, if I'm going to be a very higher side, I can see only 10% change in syllabus, 10%. If I'm taking this change in very higher side, I can only sense 10% syllabus has been changed in last 10 years, last 20 years. But if you look back any industry, forget about 10 years, 20 years time. Just look, just go back last 5 years. In 5 years, industry has changed a lot. The tools that is used in industry has changed a lot. So if you are waiting to revise your syllabus, to revise your curriculum by university, you will be in a trouble. So what you have to do, just take a good technical knowledge from your teachers, as well as try to gather your various skill set by utilizing your summer breaks, your winter breaks, your evening time, your online platform for learning any good certifications. So this is a decision that you have to take. No one is going to motivate you. But as I said, you can easily change yourself. Don't try to change system. So in 4 years, if you are going to update, means you will easily your travel from your campus to corporate will be very easy. uh, updation is very essential thing. If you're not going to update even your laptop, even your phone for next after in every 6 months, in every 3 months, you will not going to operate, you will not going to like properly utilize your hardwares also. If these kind of system, your phone, your laptop requires this update, why not you? Because this is the key things that you have to always remember. If you're not going to update yourself, you will face some bug, and that bugs in terms of your unemployment. If you want to remove this bug from your CV, from your career, so you have to update yourself. And again, be focused. Try to become a laser. Try to become a laser. Choose 2 3 technology or 1 2 technology, and take good in-depth knowledge so that any industry can hire you. Don't try to become a light. This is a key mantra for you. So focus is main thing. And I highly appreciate the talk given by Seema. I think most of the keywords she has already used, like focus and understanding right technologies. So this is the only things that you have to remember. Different people can present these things in different way, but all these things matters a lot. You have to select certain skill set, you have to learn those skill set by utilizing your different times, like evening times, winter breaks, summer breaks times. And it's the time where you cannot be a totally theoretical. You have to learn by doing yourself. So learning by doing is the key mantra of success, I can say. If you are doing, if you are trying these things, you will definitely achieve. And how you can achieve this learning by doing? For that, you have 4 years of time in your campus. These small projects. Suppose you have chosen one field, embedded system. So try to build small, good embedded based projects that consider as a minor projects for your BTech. And after 4 years, or at the end of your final year, during your final year, you should complete one major project that combines all your learning in practical, in hands-on way. So don't try to compromise with your minor projects things. Don't compromise with your major projects. That is a key. That is the, again, key things that helps you out while you travel from your campus to like corporate world. If you are ready to do hard work, so try to do in right direction. Right direction is very important, because without this you cannot achieve good results. So hard work having no substitute. And this is a time, if you have sensed the change, industry changes, if you have sense, you just have to switch from those changes. And how you can do these things? Just by entering your mind. And you just have to do 2 things. You have to fine tune yourself. Fine tune means you just adopt any technology and start working on that. So adaptation of technology uh, as well as fine tuning required for on that technology. So if you are ready to reskill or upskill, so you are ready for this corporate world. And with good degrees, you can only move, but you cannot glide. If you want to glide, if you want to fly, you need to gather right skill set. Then only your journey from campus to corporate will be easy. And I can conclude my talk in this way: upskilling or reskilling is still a need or challenge that you have to think. This is your opinion. It's not mine. Just think yourself whether reskilling or upskilling is still a choice for you or it's a need. I think if your answer is it's a need, then you have to work on that. Thank you. And I
Thank you,
have
sir.
shared my email ID here. If
Yes, sir.
anyone having any query, they can mail me
Okay,
or
sir. Definitely,
okay.
I ask my students in your busy schedule, sir, you accept this proposal and connect with us today. On behalf of my college and the entire management group, I am very heartily gratitude uh, for you for your motivational talk and nice PPT, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Now I invite Dimple to share your views. डिम्पल एक्चुअली आप म्यूट कर बेटा अनम्यूट कर लीजिए डिम्पल
Yeah, sorry, I was
यस
speaking on.
यस बेटा यस बेटा
Yeah. I'm really very grateful that you have given me this opportunity to interact with my juniors, and I'm really lucky to to be a part of this institution and my department. And I really thank my faculty members who have supported entire me and in entire my college years. Whatever I was going through, whatever the means like whatever I needed, they helped me in my personal way in or in my studies and all. So throughout the session, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a roadmap how you can get placed yourself in MNCs. Right. So I think many of you may be, eager to know about this tips and tricks how you can get placed yourself into the companies like Infosys or any tech companies or any that is totally depends on your interest, right? So if you want to get placed in the core companies like Cadence, Siemens, Dell, and all. So at this point, I would like to see like as said by Vikas sir, the mindset is required. Mindset and skill set are the keywords which you need to get thorough with. Like what mindset you are having, what industries are requiring. That are the two important factors which you are going to see in your final year, right? So first of all, I would like to share my journey to Infosys. Like college went. So to start with, when I entered my college, like of course I'm an electronics and communication student. So in my first year, how my mindset was like, I was too steady and I want to get good grades. I really got good grades in my first year, and the first subject that was C programming languages, right? I think many of you might be having today also, right? That C programming, and I was not liking that programming languages all, so that's why I chose electronics and communication because I was more inclined towards robotics, machine learning, and all. Because this, given me a kick look how these things are going to really actually work. So I just wanted to know. So I chose electronics and communication instead of choosing CSE. So coming towards the second year of my college, that was really into the core. And from here, I would like to say is to the person who are in second year, I would come to the third year and fourth year students also. For second year, I would like to say is you have completely 3 years, like 2 or 2 more years for your third and fourth year to before your placements to prepare for anything you want to crack, right? So you are having into your careers, like how you are going to be in your upcoming years. Like if you want to Arduino systems, TLD, EDC, electronics, components and all. You have to get thorough with these things. And if you really wanted to work in like the current technologies, like which companies are working on, like what the mindset, what the skill set they require, you really have to research about it. Right. So first decide what you want to do. For second year people, I would like to say here is you have complete 2 years, third and year, fourth year to prepare. Prepare for what you want to be in the upcoming years. Like if you want to clear gate, if you want to pursue masters, if you want to be in any ONGCs like PSUs, so you have to appear for your gate. So if you start studying now, like even if you are putting up efforts, like efforts, compounding works. Many of you will know the theory of compound, like how compounding works. Like if you are giving 1% of anything today, next day it will be 2%, other day it will be 4%, and someday you will get your 100% results, right? So nothing works at an instant. Everything is going step by step. Okay. So I hope you are getting my point, right? So how you can prepare is for second year students, you have a lot of time to prepare yourself. Even if you want to get placed in any big giant companies like Dell, Microsoft, or any other go through their company websites, go through the LinkedIn. If you don't have LinkedIn, I would request you to make your LinkedIn accounts right now. If you don't have any skill set, like add your skill set. This is basically your on-site resume. LinkedIn profile will help you get through the professionals. Like nowadays companies, if you want to switch from one company to other companies, people are using LinkedIn a lot, because through that you can get in touch with the techies who are already working in your companies. Like if you want to get, for example, if you want to get placed in Dell, okay, so what you will do is you will go to the company website, look for all those people who are working already there, interact with them, get in touch with them. Some or other day you will get to know like how things are going to work, what all skill sets are required to get into that company. Work on that skill set. As Vikas sir told, and as Seema ma'am and Dipti ma'am told in previous sessions, AI and ML is the coming, work ongoing and upcoming technologies, which is going to last for years now. So if you are interested in, go for the certifications, put your step towards to learn that particular technologies, basics of that technologies, fundamental of that technology. Other than your subjects, you have to grab the skill set. That is the foremost thing. In your final year, companies will come from the very beginning. You have to sit there and give aptitude test. For aptitude test, as Seema ma'am told, that is one of my key points I would like to request you all guys, don't miss any of your PDP sessions. That is for you and personally for you. If you are going to miss, you are losing, some kind of opportunity here or now, here or later. Okay. So PDP was one of my favorite sessions and I used to attend them. Even if I'm having, I miss them because if I have any urgency in any other, so for some other reason, then only I will miss that lectures. Otherwise, I won't miss any single PDP session, because these are going to give you, roadmap. Step by step, they are going to teach you. They will prepare you for your aptitude. They will prepare your public speaking skills. Like this will help you to boost your confidence whenever you are going to sit in front of the interviewer, right? So this had helped me a lot, because I like to interact. Even if you don't, even if your communication skills are not good now, don't get worried. Work on them. Work on them. Even if you are working on them 1% today, the other percent other day, be consistent enough to work on your skills, because consistency is the key. If you are not consistent, if you break the chain, this is not going to work, because we are a great procrastinator. We will do it the other day. We will always say kal kar lete hain na yaar. This is not going to work. Yeah. In practical life, if you really want to achieve something big in your life, you have to be consistent. How the millionaires are working. They are really, working on the techies. Even if you are getting into the gossips, even if you are talking about something, just 1% of that talk, try to give like what the industries are all about, how the technologies are going, what the technologies are coming up front, whatever the skill sets are required, and how can I attain that skill set. Okay. How Just try to work more on getting the particular skill set. And now I would like here to add some points, like you are having summer breaks and winter breaks, like, so you can utilize those summer breaks and winter breaks to you can work for, or even you can study for your gate exams. I would like to say here is, just don't miss gate or cat. Appear for any competitive exams, because once you enter the corporates, now you won't get much time to prepare for it. You have to take a break and then only you'll have to prepare. Am I audible?
Yes, 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 Dimple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here is like, I would really request you guys to prepare for any competitive exams, because this will help you to build consistency, confidence enough, because this will build your concepts and fundamentals. So if any interviewer in future going to ask you anything about the particular subject now, you will be able to answer that. That is other thing. Don't keep everything for the very end, for means the last minute. This will give you only panics. This is not going to work at all, because step by step, if you're working today in second year, you're having subjects, so go, YouTube is a great source to learn. Free resources are there, so you can learn. If you're not getting any point about particular subjects, you can ask the faculties here are the very, motivators. Basanta sir, Taslima ma'am, they are my favorite. Seema ma'am, everyone have, entertained me, motivated me throughout my college years, you know even now, actually you're having R&D also. Even if you don't want to take placements or you want to start something your own, you have R&D. You have the great support from your, management. If you want to start your own things, if you have, ideas to work on, just brainstorm your ideas with the, mentor sitting over there. Just don't sit idle. Sitting idle will lead you nowhere. Okay. So, just try, yourself at, gain that new skills or whatever you want to work on in the near future. If you're not having any clear vision right now, so companies will let you to take some actions like whatever they want to work on. So Infosys, when I entered Infosys, I'm working as a system engineer in Infosys now. It's going to be 1 year since I joined Infosys. So I didn't know much of the programming, but I knew the very concept. So they trained me for 6 months in Java and full stack development. Full stack development mein there will be back end and there will be front end and there will be technologies to work on. So they are going to decide according to the demands in the corporate, like what demands are there. If somebody leaves the team, there will be one vacancy and they have to fill that vacancy. To fill that vacancy, they create one demand like mappings and all for us. So for that, particular streams, there are a lot of streams in the companies going on. There are, as that mainframes for, non CSIT people also there. They will train people in the particular streams according to the industrial requirements. Okay, so don't get worried about it. Many mass hiring companies are there like Accenture, Gemini, Infosys. They just ask you basic aptitude, how you are building the logic. Your logic building abilities are going to help you a lot in your life, in your corporates as well. Every aspect of your life there, this is going to help you, because the way you solve the problem, it will build your logic building capabilities, right? So this will help you to solve programming language, even if you are studying, this assembly level programming language or microprocessor. If you are programming any microprocessors, logics is going to help you anyway. So logics is not going to anywhere. Logic is same throughout. Even if you are typing, suppose if you want to type, if you want to print hello world in C, it will be a different syntax. In Java, it will be a different syntax. In Python, it will be a different syntax. Okay, so the logic is same still though. So just focus on your logic building capabilities. Aptitude is going to help you build your logic. So don't miss any of your PDV sessions, because they are going to train you over any programming language, whatever is required. So don't miss it. And also they will tell you what companies are going to ask which questions the most. You can also go to the interview bit site. There you will see the topmost interview asked questions and in any companies. Like if you are sitting for Infosys, if you're sitting for Accenture, go and search an interview bit site. Like how matlab, the topmost means any particular like computer network questions asked in interviews, like, so you will get a list of questions that are repeatedly asked in the companies. So you don't need to give if you're even not even prepared about it, just go through that questions, prepare that questions. Okay, so this will give you a lot of confidence to sit in an interview and answer those questions, because not in depth they are going to ask, they are going to just ask some repeatedly questions which are already over internet. So you can make use of that and prepare yourself throughout your journey, like even if you're second year, in second year you can make projects on it, like if you have decided for fourth year you want to make this project, try to break that project into pieces and make that project. And for internships also, I would like to request you, approach for the paid based internships, like if you really want to work in cadence, search whether they are providing any kind of internships. For internships, what skill sets they are required, you know get in touch with the recruiters, like they are only recruiting for internships as well. You can search on their site, like what skill sets are required for their internships. Mostly whenever you get any internships at MNCs like Cadence, Accenture, Microsoft, Google, if you are getting internships there now, then there are highly chances that they will hire you in future, because you have already worked on them, right? So what you can do here is gain but learn the particular skills. Like if you want to learn for Java, after Java what you have to learn is you have to learn HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, TypeScript, Golang and all. Whatever the companies are just to clear that interview, just learn, because in whenever you will enter the any particular industry, they will train you. Of course, they will train you for 2 to 3 months. Directly, they are not going to put you up on any kind of project. They are for sure going to train you on that particular technologies which they are working right now. So don't get afraid of anything. Just be confident enough and train yourself. You have a lot of time to prepare. Just put, even if you are going to put half an hour or 1 hour, this is enough, because this is going to work as a compounding. Compounding really works, and really. So don't procrastinate. For procrastination, I will give you one tip here is for example, if you are going to do some work tomorrow, like if you are putting some work for tomorrow, like आगे मैं कल करूँगा, okay. So do just 1 to 2% of that work today, or if you are not doing, just think that finish up that work. So this will help you know whenever you will sleep, this all process will go into your subconscious mind, and this will help you to do complete that work tomorrow. Okay, this trick is going to work for every one of you. I too followed this trick, like if I'm going to any interviews or something like that, I seriously used to bring that strategies to my mind, what I'm going to speak, what questions they may ask, what how I'm going to answer. These things I used to answer myself. I used to practice a lot. Okay, so if you stuck anywhere, take help of your mentors, take help of your faculties. If like they will help you in one or any way to get your problem sorted, right? So for third year, you have 1 year left. Okay, second year you have a lot of time to prepare. Just decide what skill set you want to work on. Try to utilize your summer breaks to attain some skills or get some internships or get some experience in some or other related work. So you can make one small project on it, and that will build up your resume, build up your profile whenever you will go into the fourth year and will set for the placement. Okay, so you won't feel like you have not done anything. You just have to study whatever subject you are studying. Study in depth, study the fundamentals, use the free resources, just like study like you are studying for any competitive exam. So this will help you slowly build up your fundamentals, and will help you in any way whenever you are going to sit for any placement or any other company, because they are going to ask you some basic questions only. Even if you are aware about the technologies, the most the core companies ask for this analog and digital programs, DS based control systems. This in future you are in further years you will study. Okay, so for third year you still have 1 year. So what you can do here is 1 year you just sit, whatever you have studied in your second year, whatever the subject interests you the most, uh, pick that subject up and study the most basic fundamentals. In summer breaks, you have one internship to complete, right? Try to get that internship from any MNCs which you would really like to work in future. Like if any company you really like and you would like to work with that company in future, try to get internship with that company. If you are not getting internship with that company, don't get worried about it. Work on the potentials, like work on something productive. This is really going to help you. And for fourth year, you are already having your placement year. So for fourth year, I would like to hear say is put your 1 to 2 months, like even if you are having any placements, try to solve as much as questions you can for that particular company in which you are sitting. You just prepare for aptitude test, any programming languages they are asking, they are just asking basic questions like palindrome, even odd out, or any other questions they may ask. So they are going to ask some repeatedly questions, or the questions with the logic will be same, although the question structure will be different. So if you are aware about the logic, you can directly answer it. So whenever you set for the placement, the first step is that you have to clear your aptitude. For clearing your aptitude, you must be aware about the logic. You must be aware about the aptitude. I mean, some concepts, some basic, aptitude questions. If you are preparing for GATE, if you're preparing for CAT exams really helped me a lot because I was in my fourth year, I was preparing for my CAT exams. That really helped me to crack many companies' aptitude tests. Like Mindtree, I have cracked. Many other companies, I have cracked aptitude. And I, I'm seriously telling you guys, if you are preparing for any competitive exams, just give your serious efforts to that. This is really going to help you means a lot in your future whenever you will set for any companies, or your dream companies, to attain that, to achieve your dream companies. Okay,
Yes,
so
Dimple. Yes,
yeah.
yes, beta. Very nice said, Dimple. Yes, Dimple,
To
your voice is
yourself to
not
achieve that
clear.
particular skill set. Just decide whatever you want to learn. Stick to one particular technologies. If you are to be precise, I would like to add some points here. Like there are some 7 tips I would like to give here is uh, know thoroughly what the company is all about, like what the companies are doing. Research about the company, what kind of products, even if it's a service based company, what kinds of clients they are having, what kinds of technologies they are working on. Just thorough with it, because whenever you will sit for any interview now, they will be delighted to know about, like, you are really interested in you are having interest in that company. So this will increase your points to get selected into the particular companies. Okay, next is to study the basics of any programming language or any assembly language you are interested in. Go, even if you're having basic knowledge, even if you know how to build the logic in that particular programming language, this is sufficient enough to get into that particular thing. Okay, so you can also learn some software tools like Lebelu is there. So you just be thorough with the particular one tool, because they will being a fresher, they won't expect much from you, but what they expect is you should be knowing whatever you have studied into your 4 year curriculum, right? So you should be thorough with any one tool, whatever you have worked on, like MATLAB, Lebelu, or see any other tool like which you have worked on. Okay, so next is study the flow of any program. Whenever you try to program anything, whenever you are building any logic, study the flow of program. So here I would like to share my experience. Like when I set it for an interview with Infosys, I had a patent on my name from my final year project, that is milk adulteration techniques to find out. So water milk adulteration, sorry, water adulteration, like what are impurities your waters are having. So I have a patent on it. So they directly asked me that thing, what logic you worked on. That was the key. That was the only one thing he asked me in the interview. What logic? I was explaining him the logic. I was in the process only, and he told me you can leave. Like I was just like I was in my mindset. I was having like how this interview went on. He just only asked me logic and how can I clear that interview. I seriously don't know. But when the results came, I was selected into the Infosys, and I'm happily working with Infosys now. And one day I analyzed my interview, how it went, how everything went, how I answered it. So he only just asked me logic about it. Many of my colleagues who sat for the same interview with Infosys, they told me they asked, some programming language, how much I'm knowing about the basic concept, I'm aware about this or not. Like any object oriented programming language they can ask which you have worked on, about your project what you have worked on in a final year. They are going to ask any particular favorite, they will for sure definitely going to ask you what is your favorite subject which you would like to tell us. So just just take one subject which interests you the most, go thoroughly, go in depth knowledge of the fundamentals which you are going to work. Okay, so they don't know much about you, but whatever your resume will say and you will say, they are going to ask from that only. That is the trick here. So whatever you will say confidently, say it thoroughly, whatever you know. Okay, so coming towards the next point, study about the basic components. If you really want to go into the core, like suppose they are asking you about some transistor like BJTs, how they are going to work. So you should be able to explain them in very simple terms, like how the working is, what the component is all about, how it is working, and how it is going to use in how it is using in any other practical applications like fan or any other condensers are there, right? Capacitors are there. So how they are working. So you should be, your communication skills helps you a lot. That's why I told you to don't miss any of your PDB sessions, because this will help you to build your communication skills here. Okay. Next is
Oh,
knowing the practical application of any subject. So if suppose if you are explaining the interviewer about like you like the most about DSP. So in DSP, what can be the practical application of it, right? Data acquisition. Data acquisition is mostly you can say that data acquisition in which the DSP is required, right? Digital signal processing. So DSP is a major part of it for data acquisition. For control system, any production unit is working on the control system only, right? So for whatever subject you are saying, just know one particular practical application of that knowledge which is currently into the industry right now. Okay. And for any networking companies, like they may ask you computer network questions. So you should be aware about LAN, what is LAN, what is MAN. These are basic some computer network questions. You can find them on interview bit site or any other site. Like you just Google them, like the top computer network questions which are asked in any companies. Okay, so you can prepare computer network questions from there. I also prepared from there. And be ready to face any practical problems and puzzles. They can put up any practical situation onto you, and they can ask your reviews, how you will deal with that particular situation, and what will be your approach to deal with it. Okay, so for that, you have to be very confident enough. You will be able, like you means like you should be able to put up whatever mindset you are having at that time, whatever it is going into your head, like the whole procedure, how you are going to deal with it. You should be able to tell the interviewer in very simple words that he should understand. Okay, so these are very few tips I shared with you to crack any interviews, and I hope this might help you guys
yes,
to crack
yes,
any
yes.
interview.
Very nice, Vita.
Thank you.
Dimple, you just passed out in 2020, and now I see that your talk is also very nice, and you presented very nicely, and you explain everything very well, Dimple. That is very nice talk, Dimple. And you
Yeah,
accept my proposal. I know you are in office now also, and during your office hour, you connect with us and give your views. Thank you, Dimple. Thank you
Thank you
to
so
all.
much.
Yes, yes, Bida.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much, ma'am, for
Thank
inviting
you,
me to
Bida.
have
Yes,
interaction.
yes,
Thank you
Bida.
so much.
Thank you to all the people who helped me either directly or indirectly to make this meeting successful. Mainly our HOD ma'am, Pankaj Jha sir, Sital ma'am, Arpana ma'am, and Sandhya ma'am. And also thanks to Basanta sir, and also thanks to all participants for attending this session.